And so what I began to do is deal with these types of issues throughout the book. I encourage folks to get back up again, because there's some people that's going to church Sunday after Sunday, sitting in pews, and they're just going and sitting and leaving the same way that they came. And that's the danger of being caught in stimulation, just the emotionalism of church. And you know, in Pentecostalism, we have learned how to get hyped. And then when we come up off of our high, we're still in the same position.
Amen.
And so the book is to encourage people to stay in there long enough to get what you need from God, so that when you come out, you're changed. That's the key.
That's awesome.
Yes, sir.
That is awesome. I'm just, man, there's just so much in what you're saying. And it's just amazing how people spend their whole life in church, like you were just saying, and don't deal with those issues. It's amazing, you know, that's been a very central theme that I've been dealing with and talking with people, various people that have been coming on the show, and just different things, talking about people dealing with their issues, dealing with those things that they've been bound by. You talk about molestation and then various things that they've had to deal with, but they're not being dealt with with those issues, and yet and still they're coming to church every week after week, and those things aren't being dealt with, and they're still leaving the same way they came, and they're not being fulfilled and not being able to do all the things that God has called them to do. So I love that you're dealing with these things in this book. Now, when you deal with the issues, where else do you take it? When you talk about people that are dealing with, you know, various things and you know, not dealing with the roots of what's going on, what else do you just talk about when you
What I deal with is after we've torn down the issues. Then obviously you can't leave a person torn down.
This is true.
So we encourage folk in different ways in terms of getting back up again.
Wonderful.
Sometimes when you get back up, you have to be prepared to be lonely. Because when you break something down, there's a season of losing folk. Because God has to now change your network so that he can increase your net worth. You understand? So God has to maneuver things in your life so that he can put you around folk that will not be pessimistic, but optimistic about your future. And so we begin to deal with those types of things, encouraging folks to get back up again, encouraging folks not only to deal with the issues, but deal with the root of the problem, because until you get to the root of the problem still remains. And so we encourage folks to move in that area. And then I give a series of declarations, because I believe that you shall have whatsoever you say. The Bible says that if you believe it, you shall have it. According to the power of the decree, it shall be established in your life. And so we give a series of decrees throughout the book to encourage people to speak over their life of what they want from God. Because I believe that you have to be very specific when you come to God saying, God, this is what I want. It's one thing to say, God, I want another wife, but then how do you want that wife? You know, because he can just give you another woman. Exactly. But then we deal with the cycles of bondage that people go through in the book, because when you begin to take a look at your life and you take inventory, you'll notice that when you come out of one season and go into the next,